Hi everyone, I'm Channing and this is my truck, my Tacoma, and I named her Stormy because we have gone through a ton of adventure, through the storm, through the snow, everything. So this is a 2017 Tacoma, and I went with a truck because I am a big paddler person. I used to be on Team USA as an adaptive athlete, and before I started this journey, I didn't have the camper, and I was looking for a way to transport my boat, and my boat was like 23 feet, and being 23 feet, that's pretty long. And I went with the truck because I was able to ramp it like down like this and push it up, and then I will go through my windows to get on top of my roof and tie it down, and then I was able to go to other competition, and I would sleep in my back seat. So that's why I went with the Tacoma, and I love skiing too, and it being four-wheel drive, that's why I went with this truck, and it has worked out for me so far. So now that I have been traveling so much with Team USA, going to competition and everything, because I don't like flying, because when you're flying and you're in a wheelchair, it's like you are gonna sit point A to point B until you land. There's no bathroom breaks. You cannot get out of your seat because they would put my wheelchair underneath the plane. So I always hated that. And also because when we race, these boats are really long. We need the adaptive seats and things like that. And we would have to carry that with us. And so when I went to competitions, it was just really hard carrying everything. So having my truck, I just put everything, and then there's no way I could forget anything. So I like driving, and also like taking detour to see the outdoors was my favorite part. So I would go days early to my races and competition and training and things like that, and I was just amazed at how much stuff we have on Earth that I never got to explore. So I became really attached to my truck, and I said, you know, only if I had a camper, it would be like a mansion for me. And so that's what I did. So when I was building my rig, I looked at a lot of campers, but a lot of camper, they built it around for like obviously walking people, and that is where you could stand up and have a fridge and stove and things like that. So you having all that stuff gets very expensive. But when you can't stand up like me, there's no point of having it. So I just liked that rustic look. So that's why I wanted like a bunch of different board look, like the rustic look. But a lot of these are like recycle items, or upcycling, I think that's what they call it. So my windows came from a camper that a friend of mine found on the side of the road, and we got those and we spray paint them, and look at that. It works, you know. Same thing with the door. It's super old, spray paint did the same thing. And what I did is I wanted to be able to, if I had friends or guests that wanted to go camping with me, so I had the top bunk built over the front of the vehicle, and right now I have it for storage for like my blankets if I get too cold, my heater and things like that up there. But it actually it folds up when I don't want it, and then it folds down when I want to make it into like a bunk bed at the top, and it fits up to 6 feet. And then if I'm in a hurry and I'm just going to like in between states to my competition, I would just pretty much just drag my foam bed and just go to sleep and be done. But what I carry with me is I have solar at the top that runs my lighting and my fan. Also I carry the Jackery, and I have the foldable solar just in case. And then I got my fridge, and then I made a flooring here where I had more storage. And way back in my storage, I even carry my stand-up paddleboard, and I will pump that when I really have an itch to go on the water. Like this season, I will not be on Team USA, so I just figure I'm gonna take my adventure and go with it and see what it's like to feel where you don't have a schedule. So that's what I'm doing. Like I said earlier, I travel with Team USA a lot. We're going to competition all over the place, all over the world, and just seeing other states and seeing other places, I was just like, man, I got to come back here. You know, I got to come back to this area or the places that I pass when I have time. And I was always just like, what would it feel like if I didn't have time and I just got to stop and see whatever? And it's beautiful. And on top of that, I think the average hotel is like 100 to 150, like a pretty safe quality one. And I always look at like safe neighborhood and safe quality, because when you're in a wheelchair, you're a little bit more vulnerable, you know? You're an easy target. So I definitely want to be in a safe neighborhood. And yeah, it was just expensive just to sleep overnight and then get up the next day and drive to your destination. And this is great because you get your own blanket that you want or whatever setup you want, and it's a little bit of comfort of home. And I don't have to drag it anywhere. I just climb in, whoop, done. Everything's here that I need. Yeah, and I think the biggest thing I carry the most is water, because I never know when I'm gonna run out of water. So I have a lot of water. That's what I carry the most. And also, a lot of the trails, people ask me, they're like, well, how do you get on the trails? You know, and I got knobby tires, so I don't really sink in. Normally, wheelchair have the standard skinny tires, which is, it makes you sink in. And when you go on trails, it's always gravel, it's always sand, it's always dirt. So get knobby tires. That's what works for me. And then also I have my handcycle, which I personally like handcycle with knobby tires because I like going more aggressive trail. I love Moab, like on slick rock. This handcycle handle slick rock, no problem. And then I used to didn't have a motor, and it would just kill my arm, you know, going uphill, downhill. It was just, so I recently got a motor and I added that on, so now I could climb. So now I'm super dangerous. So stay out of my way if you run into me. So I go through the path and now no problem. And then I have a swing away hitch that I added so that I can swing it away and not have to unload my handcycle all the time because I had to climb back there. And then once I climb back in there, I'll pull the handcycle and close it out, and that's it. If I'm gonna be camping for a while, I like to make my little foamy thing as a sofa where I can sit there and edit my videos or internet or whatever I need to do. And then the top, I will make it a bed if I'm gonna be there for days. And I normally will get on top of my refrigerator and climb myself up there. And that's how I get up there. I know people say, how do you get up there? Refrigerator. So the refrigerator is not just a refrigerator, it's my stepping stool to get up. But if I'm just going in between state, I just fold that down and go to bed because I already know tomorrow I'm leaving. So I actually got a milk jug that seriously works, and I just cut a hole on it and I put a plastic bag. And in my front seat, for some reason, since my leg doesn't work, my seat, I just have to recline it back. And again, me being short, it works perfect because my ribs is able to kind of like pivot right between my steering wheel and my seat that kind of holds me up. And I pretty much be in a seating position and do my bathroom. And I don't carry it with me. I throw it away immediately. I know a lot of people have these cassette toilets and all these other stuff, but I can't carry that and trying to dump that thing. And I'm a little grossed out actually having it with me, but that's me, you know? And I just throw it away. The way I make an income on the road is I do a lot of like projects. I think I've done things with National Park. They wanted somebody with a disability to kind of evaluate their construction and how they try to modify and make it ADA kind of deal. So I've done little things like that. So seasonal job here and there. And then I've done like little TV shows, commercial shows. So it's paid by the project. So that's how and I make enough just for me to go touring and gas, and I don't pay for hotel rooms, so you make it work, you know? Just setting your own time, just being in control of your life. That's what I really love, and just seeing the beauty. I mean, the world is huge, and we should go out there and explore it because we only get one life, right? And I think like society has trained us to go to school, and I feel like create debts, and then you pay your bills, and then you die, you know? And I was just like, that can't be my life. So that's what I love, is just being free, being able to roam freely. So I have this item that's pretty cool too, because if I camp out with my friends for days, some area has been very rocky and I can't even push myself through it, even me having the knobby tires. So I got these things, I don't know if you can see it, they're actually like little stackable plastic congruent where it's really strong, and I would take it out and I would wrap it around my truck so it would be a path for me to walk back and forth if it's really sandy. And it's, yeah, so that's what I have all the way underneath there. And also I use that if I want to go paddle. A lot of times there's rocks before you get to the water, so I will use that to make it like a sidewalk, and then I'll wheel myself to it. And then the paddleboard's back there, paddles. I got extra tables and camping chairs. Sometimes I have friends, or sometimes I just want to expand my, you know, outdoor living area. So that's what's back there. And then a lot of just like, I got my jet boil and stuff like that. Yeah, I got a little stove like I bought for like 20 bucks on Amazon. And I just have, it's like a one pan thing. And also I do a lot of TV dinner, so I take it along and I put it in my refrigerator because I don't have to do anything but heat it up. So I'll put it in my one pan that I have, put foil on it, and then I don't know, I just warm it up for like 10 minutes and I have a warm meal ready. No cooking, no cutting, no nothing. I actually like sitting on my tailgate. I call it like my porch. I don't know if this is a big deal or not, but when I first got this truck, they had like a lot of these little ridges. It was not flat. And I just recently got this from Mountain Hatch, and it's a flat surface. So now I actually have a porch where I can actually sit down and have my coffee in the morning. Another thing I get asked a lot is, how do I drive? Your leg don't work. How do you drive? So I don't drive my legs. I have hand controls. So they work just like a motorcycle. I think that's how motorcycle, that's why it was told to me. Anyways, you pull down to accelerate just like that, and then it goes right back up. And then if you want to brake, just push down. That's it. Very simple. I think that you shouldn't wait until you get a bunch of money, because that's what people say, you can't afford it. Well, I think if you kind of like, I'm not saying everybody does this, but if you think about it, going to Starbucks is probably like $5 a day. And most people go like 2 times a day. That's 10 bucks, you know? And if you sleep in a hotel, it's roughly 100 bucks, you know? I don't even think it's about how much money you make. It's how the way you spend it. Like I didn't go with like a camper that was always like a price set. I pretty much had this camper built and just do the material and everything. And it came out way cheaper than if I was to buy it. So yeah, I think you should like start planning now. Like, don't ever wait and say, oh, I gotta wait for this money. Because if you wanna wait for the day that you wanna be a millionaire, chances are it's probably gonna be very slim. Like if you waited that long, then you're probably never gonna get to do it. Yeah, you could find me on Instagram under Wheel, like the Wheel, and then Channing, I like Channing Tatum. Yeah, and just kind of follow me, my so-called life, and just living with it. I don't have any directions, I'm just going with it. I just want to thank you guys for following my journey, because like I said, I don't have directions or anything. I kind of just went with it, and I'm surprised that many people are fascinated in my life. So I really appreciate you guys wanting or even being interested in my life, really.